Hello friends, today I am going to answer the question that I get asked all the time. Specifically, is there common law marriage in Florida? Well, stay tuned for the answer. Welcome back to the Divorce Broadcast. My name is Manny Segarra, coming to you from Miami, Florida. Now I'm going to take you on a brief historical tour of how we got common law marriage in this country. The concept of common law marriage can be traced back to jolly old England, where it was recognized as a legal union back in the 12th century. When the United States was formed, we inherited common law and thus common law marriage. In the early days of this country, a lot of the population lived in rural areas or farmlands, so many people did not have access to a formal marriage ceremony. So what ended up happening as a result, a common law marriage became a way for couples to establish a legal union without a formal marriage ceremony. Under the common law, a couple could be considered married if they lived together as husband and wife, held themselves out as married, and intended to be married. However, as always, all good things must come to an end. Over time, states began to require couples to obtain marriage licenses and formal ceremonies in order to be legally married. Today, there are only a few states that recognize common law marriages. Now, to answer the $64,000 question, one that has been asked to me thousands of times, does Florida recognize common law marriage? And the answer is no, Florida does not recognize common law marriage. Florida abolished common law marriage in 1968. There are, however, some states, a handful of states, that still recognize common law marriage. As of September 2020, there's, by my count, 10 of them, and these are the 10 states that still recognize common law marriage in this country. It is important that even in these states that we just showed to you, the requirements for establishing a common law marriage are quite strict and may be very difficult to prove. Also, many states that don't recognize common law marriage might still recognize common law marriage from other states that do, and then there may be states that don't recognize common law marriage and won't recognize it anywhere. So it's always important to consult with a legal professional for guidance on that specific issue. Now, let's get into some of the good stuff regarding the legal ramifications of common law marriage versus legal marriage. And these ramifications can vary from state to state, depending upon how each state defines and recognizes, or whether they recognize, common law marriage. So check out what your state does on this issue. The first area would be property rights. In a legal marriage, both spouses have legal rights to property that was acquired during the course of the marriage, regardless of who purchased or earned the property. In a common law marriage, it can become more complicated, and the parties may need to prove who owns what whenever there's a split. Second, inheritance rights. In legal marriages, each spouse generally has the right to inherit from the other spouse's estate, even if they die without a will. This is usually called the intestate share. However, in a common law marriage, inheritance rights may vary from state, and they may not be entitled to inherit if their common law spouse passes away. And next comes in the area of divorce and separation. In a legal marriage, divorce proceedings are governed by state law. Both parties have rights and obligations as it relates to distribution of their assets and liabilities, alimony, as well as child custody and child support. In a common law marriage, separation is a little bit more complicated, and it may require separate legal proceedings to divide the property and the child custody or the children's issues if that party has children as well. The fourth area and final area is legal recognition. If you are a legally married couple, you have certain benefits, which include the right to go see your spouse at a hospital. You have a right to file a joint tax return, receive spousal benefits. In a common law marriage, you may not have these rights if you are either in a state that does not recognize common law marriage, or if your common law marriage has yet to be recognized. And that's a wrap on the issue of whether or not there's common law marriage in Florida. Remember, the answer is no. So hopefully people won't ask me that as much moving forward. If you know anybody who may need some assistance with a legal marriage dissolution or divorce, have them reach out to us at www.segarralawfirm.com. We have offices in Miami and Orlando, Florida. Se habla español. Please do us a favor and like this video, subscribe to the Divorce Broadcast, and share this video with family and friends who may benefit from the answer to this question.